On April 18th, 2001, AC Green played his final NBA game, finishing an amazing 1,192 consecutive games, dating back to 1986, becoming known as the NBA's Iron Man, with a record that may never be broken ever again in the NBA. We dive into AC Green today on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into sports history every day. AC Green was born in Portland, Oregon. He got the initials AC from his father, who was AC Green Sr. And his father's parents gave him those initials after his mother, who was named Amanda, and his father was named Chester. But one thing to always remember about AC is that his faith was a huge driving force how he lived throughout his life. While he was in high school, he became a born-again Christian and participated in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And one thing to remember is that AC actually never missed a class during his educational career, which is a preview of what's to come in his basketball career. He was a great player while in high school, and growing up to a height of 6'9", he caught the attention of a lot of basketball university, but he wanted to stay local and attended Oregon State University, where he finished second in school history in rebounding and fourth in scoring, and was all Pac-10 3 years in a row. In his senior year, made third team All-American, averaging 19 points and 9 rebounds. And he had a great option that came after he was done playing in college. He got drafted by the LA Lakers, who had just won an NBA championship. He was the 23rd pick, the second to last, as they only had 24 teams at the time, of a draft that included Hall of Famers such as Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullins, and Karl Malone. Now, at this time, it had become known that AC was a devout Christian, and despite contributing to his team throughout his rookie year, finishing second on the team in rebounding, that didn't stop the team from messing with him. They wanted to test him, and they actually sent a woman to tempt him to compromise his commitment. But AC would not be tempted, and actually remained a virgin his entire NBA career as he was waiting to get married, which he would eventually, but not till after finishing playing basketball. In his second year, after missing 3 games, on November 19th, 1986, he started his streak when they defeated the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. And the streak didn't just start because out of nowhere, he was a contributing player to this team. He ended up starting that year next to Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, helping lead the team to back-to-back titles in 1987 and 1988. But remember, he was a devout Christian, and he strongly opposed smoking and drinking alcohol, and wouldn't even spray champagne or smoke a cigar after they won these championships. But that didn't stop him from being loved by the team because of his work ethic. He wasn't a guy that scored very many points, but he rebounded like crazy, and he was a great defender. And he helped lead the Lakers to NBA Finals in 1989 and 1991. Though they didn't win, he was still a driving force. And in 1990, he actually became a starter in the Western Conference All-Star Game, averaging only 12 points. Now, you may think this is unusual, but there have been over 30 NBA All-Stars in the history of the All-Star Game that haven't averaged over 10 points a game. So it wasn't uncommon, as most of them before 1990, if you were a good player on a good team, you could get in the All-Star Game. After all of the success he had with the Lakers, they were starting to change after Magic Johnson retired, and he moved on to the Phoenix Suns, where he had his best season, and the Suns were hoping he was the missing piece as they had just made the NBA Finals and lost to the Chicago Bulls. And they needed someone that could match up in the post, allowing Charles Barkley to focus more on the offensive end. And this is where he had his best season, averaging 14.7 points a game. But sadly, they only made it to the conference semifinals and wouldn't make it back to the NBA Finals until 2021. But while he was a part of the Phoenix Suns is when he almost ended his consecutive game streak. Getting intentionally elbowed by J.R. Reed in the face, Green lost 2 teeth and sustained a head injury, but would wear a protective mask, and despite only playing a few minutes over the next few weeks, would continue his streak. Then in 1997, he would actually be traded 2 months into the season with Sam Cassell and Michael Finley for Jason Kidd, and would help Dallas as he almost out-rebounded Sean Bradley, who was 7'4" that year. In that year, he actually played 83 games due to this trade, helping him get even more consecutive games. And while he was there, on November 20th, facing Golden State, he actually got his 907th consecutive game, passing Randy Smith, who was the previous Iron Man of the NBA. And he would continue playing for another couple years, extending his streak. After the 1999 season, he would return to the Lakers, where he had all that success at the beginning of his career, and help them win another championship, this time with Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal, defeating the Pacers in 6 games in the 2000 NBA championship, making it his 3rd championship, all with the Lakers. He had 1 more year left in him, and he went to the Miami Heat to reunite with Pat Riley, who was his original coach with the Lakers. They were able to make the playoffs, but got swept by the Hornets. But that's where he played his final game on April 18, 2001, giving him the record of 1,192 consecutive games. In this day and age, this record will probably never be beat, as teams are focusing on load management. But back then, playing every day showed how much grit a player had, and that's exactly the type of player he was, and why he was able to play so many years. This was 14 straight years of not missing a game. Just like he didn't miss a day in school, he didn't miss a game in the NBA, only missing a total of 3 games his entire career. Now, this game streak only includes regular season games. And to just give you an idea of how many games he actually played, he is 28th on the list for all-time games played. And Robert Parrish is number 1 with 1,611 games over 21 seasons. That's just under 500 more games with 7 more seasons. It just goes to show you how being able to play can be a huge asset. And I mentioned he was a virgin throughout his whole playing career, and he says he was. In 2002, when he was 38, he finally married his wife, Veronica. And interestingly enough, the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin came out 3 years later. Were they looking to AC Green as inspiration? Maybe. Now, Green says his faith actually helped him through that. It allowed him to focus on his health, his body, and his career, making him the NBA's all-time Iron Man. Thank you for listening to today's Daily Sports History. If you like that, please leave us a rate and review wherever you're listening. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say that Robert Downey Jr. is the real Iron Man, because I love to see what you guys say, and all those reviews warm my heart. And come back tomorrow for more Daily Sports History.